Today we answer the question, do hedge funds need KR&E protection? KR&E is an abbreviation for Kidnap, Ransom, and Extortion insurance. It is a must-have for any firm that has company executives traveling anywhere in the world and not just in the hotspots as defined by the State Department. In fact, KR&E is an inexpensive and critical coverage part even when hedge fund managers don't travel overseas. When I've discussed the need for kidnap and ransom coverage with a client, I often get that look from a decision maker like, "You're just trying to sell me something here, aren't you? Kidnapping? That would really never happen to me, right?" My answer is that you just don't know, but it could happen to you. There's about 30,000 kidnappings every year globally, according to Chubb, who writes a lot of KR&E insurance. Targets for kidnapping are, of course, wealthy individuals, and hedge fund managers and their team usually fit that description. It's often not a matter of being able to afford the ransom demand. It's really an issue of what do you do when or if this crisis happens. And this is the key reason why KR&E insurance exists. Most insurers of kidnap and ransom policies provide not only for the reimbursement of expenses associated with a kidnap, ransom, or extortion threat, but they also provide crisis prevention and, more importantly, crisis response. In the event a fund executive or family member is kidnapped, domestically or globally, there's an 800 hotline phone number you can call which is answered 24/7, 365 by a specialist at a crisis management firm. Chubb, for example, uses the AMIM Group, a well-known security and investigative services company. Other insurers will use other consultants, and for very large clients, some insurance companies will permit the use of your own consultants if you have one on retainer. Whoever answers that phone following a kidnapping will be responsible for coordinating response, including hostage recovery, negotiations, coordinating with law enforcement agencies, and delivering the ransom funds. This is the real benefit of a KR&E policy. Yes, having money on hand to pay a ransom is great, but when faced with a crisis of this magnitude, having an expert to work with is invaluable. Who is typically covered under a KR&E policy? Insureds will often include any firm leader or employee, as well as their relatives, guests, or household residents. But check the policy language to be sure it's as broad as required by your firm. What does the actual policy cover? Most policies will cover a firm for the kidnap and ransom demands and extortion payments to remediate a threat. These coverages are commonly written on a reimbursement basis. Expenses associated with an event such as the fees of negotiators, PR firms, reasonable medical and psychiatric expenses following the release of an abducted person, and others are also covered. Depending on the insurer, several options can be included in a kidnap and ransom policy, including product recall, active shooter and workplace violence coverage, repatriation, cyber extortion, and political threat coverage. In addition to the insurance attributes and crisis management response services, most insurers also provide KR&E risk management services to help prevent events from occurring in the first place. The bottom line is that kidnap, ransom, and extortion coverage is not expensive, and the benefits of protection are valuable. In my experience, $1 million policy limit for a small to medium-sized hedge fund will usually land in the premium range of $2,500 to $4,500 a year. To determine the exact cost of protection, all we need is a short-form application to be completed. Information needed will include the location of all your foreign employees, as well as a list of anticipated travel to locations by country, the average duration of that travel, and the number of employees on those trips. From there, we can obtain a premium indication and discuss other options with you. Have any other questions on insurance relative to your hedge fund? Give me a call or drop me an email. My contact info is coming up in a second. I work with startup hedge funds as well as established funds all over the U.S. Thanks.